Japan is an awesome country. Amazing scenes, great food, delicious beverages, and wonderful people. So what do you want to do in the country? How about making national news for throwing a snowball at a guy? It seems like each week there's some story of someone doing something disruptive in Japan for the sake of internet attention. This issue has been spreading to Asia as a whole, so it's time to address it. It's time for me to use my platform to start speaking out against this kind of behavior because as a content creator living in Japan, I feel it's my obligation, it's my duty, to start taking these people to task. This is me making a video I should have made a long time ago, and hopefully dissuading some of you of going down the path of some of the people we're going to be talking about in this video. But before we start, I do not condone any harassing, violence, or stalking against anybody I mentioned in this video or other content creators out there. None of these people are worth crashing out over. So with that out of the way, let's get into the video. As usual, context is helpful. IRL streaming has been around for a while, but I started noticing it a lot more in Japan around 2020 and 2021. Japan was closed to tourism because of the pandemic. If you had $1 for every person you met who wanted to visit Japan at some point, I would not know how many dollars you would have because I don't know you nor your social circle. The point is, with the country locked off from the world and there being a demand for travel content, IRL walking streams became a good way for people to enjoy Japan, or any country for that matter, vicariously through streams. Plus, Japan-related content does well on social media. Speaking from experience, my Japan pics do well on Instagram. Feel free to follow my Instagram too! It's very easy to find Japan-centric content on any platform of choice. Raise your hand if you get those Why Japan is Living in 2050 kind of videos on your For You page. Those have to be my least favorite kind of shorts. Beating out food ASMR where the creator eats horrible abominations of food but doesn't gain any weight and only wears black shirts, and people who don't fix the reverse image on their selfie videos. Don't be lazy, just hit the mirror option on your phone video editor. Add to that the yen becoming very weak in 2022, making it a pain whenever I travel back to the States, means that it's easy to come to Japan and start getting that sweet online money. All of these things coalescing means that Japan, and Asia as a whole, became a playground for aspiring online content creators. IRL streaming can be a cool thing. If you're walking around, making memories with your friends, and having a good time, that's fantastic. That said, depending on where you live at, that could be considered a safety hazard. I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and doing something simple like walking to the gas station for a Monster and a pack of Skittles was like a life or death mission. IRL streaming in Albuquerque would not be the smartest idea. Japan, on the other hand, is considerably safer. The worst thing you have to deal with are people harassing you on the street for sexual services, which can be easily ignored. I personally would not stream myself going to a massage parlor, but you do you.
I don't know what's going on. No, we're leaving. We're leaving. Whoa. We're leaving.
Yo, she called the police.
Alright. What are we?
With so many people flocking to Japan and Asia as a whole, it becomes a challenge to stand out in a saturated market, be it streaming or otherwise. Obviously, not everyone who travels is doing it for their online career. I would imagine most travelers just want to take some photos and videos for their own memories and leave it at that. The issue comes into play when you're trying to get your name out there. That's when things like this, or this, go viral online. My theory is that people try to go viral intentionally to get their name out there and hope that enough people will be interested in further escapades. This is not a reliable strategy to get famous online. You might be seen as a nuisance and not gain any traction, and even have to lock your account to avoid the heat. Even if you do get a following, they aren't going to be watching you for you. They want to see you jump off that ledge and see where you fall. Trying to transition into other kinds of content will be difficult unless you already have a following, have good looks, or a captivating personality. And let's face facts, if your idea to get big online is to harass people in the street or blast loud music on public transportation, you have no creativity. A perfect example of this is with the internet's whipping boy, Johnny Somali. He got his big break being a fool in public transport, being racist, harassing people, and just being a pain in the butt to deal with. He did get those viral moments that he was craving, but he didn't get the heat he wanted. Anyone who did hear of Johnny Somali just knew of him as a nuisance, and the followers he did gain just wanted to see him fail. His followers kept pushing him further and further. Now he's banned off a kick, broke, and facing several years in a Korean jail. And while nowhere near as bad as Johnny Somali, I would be surprised if people like Ice Poseidon, Sam Pepper, or Slightly Homeless have fans that actually like them for them, and not just see them act like fools in public. And after researching for this video, I'd rather brave a week-long vacation in Silent Hill than listen to Sam Pepper's voice for more than 5 minutes.
You're fucking kidding me. I could have got fucking 5 Coke. I got scammed so hard.
You know you're in for some bangers when you see this on the Wikipedia page. Kick is really sending their best out here. When you are a creator, you're the hero of your own story. Most people know basic human decency. However, certain creators have taken their own self-imposed protagonist position as, I can do anything without consequence. That's where you see so many stories of people doing stuff like this or this in a foreign country. And if there are consequences, it might be a fine at best or deportation at the absolute worst. If you were not planning to come back anyway, why not do something silly, get deported, and soak up some of that internet attention? The thing about it, they aren't entirely wrong. I personally think that police don't want to go through the process of detaining someone if they are only here for a short amount of time. That would explain why Ice Poseidon and his crew never saw jail time, despite getting confronted by the police more times in their short 2025 run in Japan than me in my nearly 10 years of living here. My entire life, now that I think about it. You have to do something really dumb like, say, doing or carrying illicit substances, getting into fights, there's no real self-defense laws here by the way, starting fires, or defacing a shrine to see the inside of a jail cell. Johnny Salami was in the slammer for about 3 months after all of his shenanigans. To Johnny, 3 months of lost time was a worthy sacrifice for clout and thinking that he would feel invincible in other countries, which again bit him in the ass, but I digress. I feel fortunate because I never met Johnny Somali when he was on his Japan crusade. Because every time I see a clip of this dude, it seems like he has the magical ability to make everyone around him either uncontrollably angry or break down into tears. And also another embarrassing fact, I thought people were talking about Johnny Tsunami when he came to Japan. Another thing about these kinds of creators is that the platforms themselves have done little to actually punish creators for damaging the brand. It seems like Kick openly embraces this kind of behavior. Take for example Suspendas. 2 of his greatest hits includes having sex with a woman with a child nearby and forcing himself onto a passed out woman on his stream. Just one of those is worthy for a lifetime ban as well as criminal investigation, but nope, Sus is still on Kick, making really unwatchable content. That's just one of the countless examples of Kick being overly lenient on their streamers. It's no coincidence that a lot of these people making waves in Japan and Asia are using Kick as their main platform. Kick's rules are far more lax than Twitch. Plus, their partner program is far more generous compared to Twitch or YouTube, which is attractive for those wanting to go full-time on streaming. I personally know one person who quit their job in programming because streaming on Kick was paying them far more. And power to them, get that bag. Not to say that YouTube, TikTok, or Twitch are perfect either and void of shitty users. A few tequila shots and I'll be ranting about YouTube until the cows come home. I've been calling Vitaly the whole time, haven't I? It needs to be addressed that Kick has gotten a bad reputation for platforming some of the most notorious content creators online who got banned from Twitch or YouTube, only permanently banning some of the worst like Johnny Somali, Vitaly, and Jack Doherty. I'm glad that Jack Doherty hasn't visited Asia, so I don't have to include him in this video. Listening to Sam Pepper's voice is already torture. Combining that with Jack Doherty's voice would be a human rights violation.
Oh yeah, I like that. Harder! Oh! Harder, I like it. Oh!
If and when I get back into live streaming, I know it will not be on Kick.com because I don't want to be associated with the kind of filth Kick openly hosts and promotes. And it's safe to assume other creators feel the same way about Kick. Then again, I don't expect decency from a site that openly promotes online gambling on their front page. Online gambling is also very illegal in Japan. I'm not saying that I will never collaborate with a Kick streamer, but I am saying if Kick is your main platform, that's a red flag. I do give Kick a lot of justified flack for the kind of content they host on their website, but I'll say this much. It's better than being on Party or Rumble. If you go out and you see anyone streaming on Party or Rumble, just don't say anything. Just evacuate the stream, flee, run far away, and never look back. I also asked my YouTube subscribers what channel did they like to watch their live streams on, and unsurprisingly, YouTube was the biggest one here. I think we might have a little bit of a bias here though, given the platform on which I asked this question on. If you're one of the few people who voted for Kick on this poll, please let me know, who do you watch on that website? When you combine a lack of real consequences in either the country or the platform means that users feel invincible and can do whatever they want. That's why you saw Ice Poseidon and his friends crashing out everywhere on their Asia tour, DBR throwing a snowball at an innocent person, Dirty White Boys, Harrison IRL, and Ms. Kiff treating cherry trees like jungle gyms. Foreigner would be very disappointed with them. And I could go on, but the point is nuisance streamers have been an issue for a while, and it's only going to get worse until actual punishments are issued. Plus, success stories are only going to cause more copycats to pop up. Andy Milanakis had this to say about Japan streaming. And yes, it is that Andy Milanakis.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Finally, really think about it. How do you want to be remembered as a content creator? For me, I want to be remembered as someone who could lift heavy, commentate fighting games with the best of them, can drink like a champion, and made some awesome videos on top of that. Someone like DBR is always going to be remembered as that dude who threw a snowball at a guy. Phidias is always going to be overshadowed by him trying to get through Japan without spending any money. And Johnny Somali's career as well, not good. Not to say that people can't change their direction. I love it when a content creator realizes the errors of their ways, apologizes, and changes for the better. Never stop improving as a creator or person. With all of this said, things are slowly starting to change. As mentioned, Johnny is facing several years in a South Korean prison, DBR fled Japan when the heat got too much for him, and Vitaly is going to be spending a hot minute in a Filipino jail. Have fun with that, bucko. People like Atozy and Cancel Johnny's on Twitter have been doing a great job of highlighting Nuisance content creators in Japan and Asia. I use a lot of Cancel Johnny's clips in this video. This drink is for you dudes highlighting the bangers. Shuffling through some of these live streams for footage would drive a normal person insane. And the locals are stepping up to the plate against these content creators and letting them know what they are doing is not okay. Just a reminder, issuing violence against anyone is not cool. Respectfully calling out someone on their behavior is fair game. Online content creation is so cool when you think about it. There are so many tools out there these days to help explore your creative side, be it through words, images, videos, or whatever. Being able to make a few extra bucks a month off of your creation is a nice bonus. Too many people are only seeing the latter and skipping the art of practice and perfection in their art. What's the point of painting something beautiful or writing the next great novel when you could just use AI to do it for you? Why bother slowly building up your streams when you could go viral for being an asshole in public? The path to success is not linear, but keep at it, you'll find your path. I have admitted to myself that I'm probably never going to be a full-time YouTuber. I have been on this platform for nearly 10 years and barely scraping by with only 4,000 subs. But I'd rather find my success my own way than speedrunning it and being known as that dude who got arrested for trying to give a can of cola to a tribe. I spent like 7,000 yen on the shirt at a concert, but come on, the shirt goes really freaking hard. And that's a look at some content creators finished, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you gain nothing else from this video, just think about how you want to be remembered as a content creator. Do you want to go down in the history books for making some awesome videos and collaborations? Do you want to be one of the greatest Street Fighter players of all time? Or do you want your Wikipedia article to look like this? I don't really like to talk about content creators too much on this channel unless it's like something positive, but again, I just felt like I should use my platform to start speaking out against these kind of people. And I'm sad to say I do know a lot of these people in real life, and they're not going to be happy with me when they see this video. And whatever, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So, who wants to hear me talking about all the Xenoblade games? Give me a hell yeah in the comments! And while you're down there, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell as well for notifications on future videos. Follow me on the social media accounts like Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, @Zmings. And with that, I will see you in the next video. Later, everybody. Take care.